And I know that I do have control over how I react to my thoughts. I do have control over the thoughts that I have. So why don't I use these tools to create a better day for myself?
I'ma need safety. Tell her I can't snake me. Ray gun off safety. My girl so tasty. Tell her it's your world. She want the two-tone spaceship. Blow smoke screen daily, so the stress don't faze me.
The truth is, I started making this video like a while ago. Like some of the clips in this video are from a couple months ago. Now, I'm not like the greatest with time. I don't know exactly when they are. I'll have to look at the dates of when they were filmed, but it's been a while. And it's ironic because the whole point of the video is talking about being willing to change and committing to that and being willing to let go of everything that hinders that. And here I am, 2 months later, still working on this video loosely. And it's just...
Long ass life. Just don't keep your guard up. Down right.
Gabby, say hi to the camera. Look how cute Gabby looks.
The video?
Yes.
I'm so sorry.
I'm telling you that there ain't no other way. Pack your bags and then you will go away. I'm not gonna be begging you to stay. Said maybe if you asked me yesterday, I would handle this shit differently. Things are different, I'm a new me. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. Even if you're asking, even if you're asking, 'cause I do what I do, and it's time for something new. Yeah, gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Gotta know when to let go. Sometimes giving up can make it grow. Can make it grow. Can make it grow. Don't wanna be stuck in a spot, telling you it ain't what I got. Don't wanna be
it's the
stuck in a
store.
spot, 'cause I don't really like what I got, so I changed it.
Are they like ceiling
Now
tile?
pop it. It's not ungrateful, just being helpful. Cause we gotta go our own way. Gotta go our own
plywood
way.
because I had spare plywood, like getting rained on, and like it was gonna like position in rock and roll history though. It's really
Yeah, I got that.
All the shit, things I wish I never know. But if you gotta get it, baby, you should let me know. Either way it goes, you know it's always X and O's. You should let me know. Always X and O's.
Let me just hear that.
Yeah. More than a friend, mommy, we life goals. Girl, you family, I'm stuck to you like tight clothes.
Ooh, I like where you're going.
Yeah, that's fire.
Life goals. Girl, you family, I'm stuck to you like tight clothes. The mic struggle to you, I'm more like go to you like tight clothes. The mic struggle to you, I'm more like.
It's interesting how when we do new things and they're things that we're actually really excited about and really interested in, how all of our fears come up. And with this video, I have noticed that I have this fear of like fucking it up, like putting all of the weight in this one video, saying like, this is my first YouTube video. It has to be perfect. I want it to represent everything the channel's gonna be about, and I just want it to be perfect. That, first of all, is like impossible. And second of all, I have never done this before. And so naturally it's gonna take me a while. But I know that the procrastination comes from a much deeper place than just not knowing what the fuck I'm doing. Oh, it's Ayla. You know what I mean? I want to talk about what's lying under the surface when we are embarking on these new things in life that actually mean a lot to us that we've never done before. And also tapping into these different parts of ourselves that either have never been touched or it's been a very long time since you've tapped into that. And this shit is scary. Arugula, oregano, what's this doing? Oh, oh. Okay, anyway. Arugula, oregano, mint, thyme, rosemary, cilantro, spinach, basil, ice cream lettuce, squash, tomatoes, kale, cayenne peppers, and cucumber. Something that keeps being reaffirmed to me is how really this whole thing is a process of reconditioning. Reconditioning your mind, reconditioning your body. What that means is that there really is no shortcut. It really just takes doing the work. He says, when you get beyond your guilt, your suffering, your fear, your frustration, your resentment, I need to say this slower. When you get beyond your guilt, your suffering, your fear, your frustration, your resentment, or your unworthiness, you are freeing your body from the chains of those habits and emotions that keep you anchored in the past. And as a result, you are liberating energy that is now coming back to you. When you're investing all of your energy into the past and what has happened in the past, it draws energy from you. It solidifies those associations, and it makes it harder for you to let go of it, which means that you continue those feelings, those emotions, which contribute to creating a future that is very similar to that. I'm like, am I in it? I can think of so many reasons why it's taken me so long to execute on this project. But again, I know that there's something deeper going on. For the most part, a lot of the stuff that I've worked on and finished has been stuff that involved other people and not just me. So there were other people essentially holding me accountable. And everything that I've pretty much started on my own, not everything, but quite a few things that I've started on my own have either taken a really long time to finish or don't get finished at all. I'm like hearing my beliefs come out as I talk, which is
And you failed. How many times have you told yourself, okay, 5 a.m., I'm going to put on a podcast, I'm gonna get up with all this energy, and I'm gonna like, holy fuck, I'm not doing any of that. A lot of the time, basis on a month-to-month basis, you need to stop getting so down on yourself when every single morning you don't hit every single goal to a T. It is just crazy and bizarre. And what you end up doing is stressing yourself out. And when you stress yourself out, what happens? Your cortisol level
This is gonna be super quick. As I'm reflecting on the last year and everything that's happened and everything that hasn't happened that I expected to happen or wanted to happen, things that I wanted to manifest that haven't manifested yet, I felt a lot of discouragement, shame around having not manifested those things. I have to stop shaming myself for all of these different things. Feeling shame about how other people were observing me at this point in my life. Shaming myself around how I clean my house, how I dress, how I talk, what I like to do, what I don't. Shaming myself literally for who I am. I have got to stop doing that. And it caused this light bulb to go off in my mind that said, oh my gosh, the reason I haven't manifested the things that I want is not because I don't think I'm an abundant person. I am an abundant person. It's that I don't think that I'm worthy of the abundance. And so here I am trying to do this thing, piece together this project, and also looking at it from a broader perspective rather than just this, one video. It's almost like this desire for perfection is my subconscious trying to protect me, my ego, from doing something that I really want to. The purpose of this channel is to share my life, but mostly share the lessons that I'm learning in life by documenting and sharing them, talking about them, in the hopes that it will help somebody else. And that feels really fucking scary. I noticed that there's a lot of anxiety that comes, for me, with speaking and being blatantly honest and sharing my story unapologetically. Doesn't matter who it is. Even when it's a complete stranger that I don't know, I'm second guessing my retelling. And that's naturally being triggered in learning to film. Filming these kinds of conversations. Is it a conversation if nobody's talking back? I don't know. These kinds of talks. What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. Return to Sid, return to self. I don't even know. I'm fucking scared. Where Where to begin? I have wanted to do YouTube for a long time now, like years. It's been years, and I haven't done it. Why? I didn't come to this understanding until after I reached the place where I'm now like still a little bit scared to do YouTube, but like ready. Like I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to. And so, can you tell that I'm nervous? I don't know where the fuck to start. Welcome to my TED Talk. Hello. I don't even know what to say. God, it's so frustrating. I just feel so discouraged because I know that learning all of this information, all of these things about the subconscious mind and energy like that lights me up, and I love learning about that. But what do I do with that? Do I simply share that information and not share my life? Do I say, fuck this docu-series? There's just not enough time to do it all. All of the things that I want to do, and again, a belief that I hold, but it's a major one, and it's something that I think I've felt even as a kid, and I don't know where this comes from, but like if I focus on one thing, then I'm missing out on all these other things. And so then I do nothing. Rather than recognizing like, no, there's time. I can work on this thing and learn how to do this thing over here, and in time I can work on something else too. That's the whole point, right? That's why I'm kind of structuring this channel this way, through documentation, because it doesn't limit me to what I can be creating and what I can be doing and sharing. But even doing it that way feels super foreign to me. Giving myself that level, giving myself that permission to literally just explore, it still feels like there's not enough time for me to simply explore. Like, wow, oh my gosh, 10 years has already passed. I mean, I was 15 10 years ago. So I don't, I'm not upset with myself at that time, but I'm just saying, I keep having these feelings lately, especially where I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm 25, I'm old. But then at the same time, recognizing that I'm super young, but feeling really old, constantly boxing myself into a corner and shaming myself for being stuck in a corner. The things that we do to ourselves, right? The way we talk to ourselves and treat ourselves. I've been thinking about how do we really break these cycles of habits, of thought processes, whatever. How do we really break these cycles in ourselves and our lives? How do we become aware of them? And then, because there's a difference between becoming aware of a cycle and breaking a cycle. Becoming aware of a habit and ending a habit. So how do we do that? What I'm starting to do is personify this other version of me. The part of me who is negative, who has a negative view of the world, who has a negative view of myself, who is scared, giving her a name and separating her from me slowly, and recognizing that that version of me is not who I am. That is a protector part of me. Basically, what I'm trying to say is this part of me, again, is rooted in fear and is using this negative self-talk and negative perspective to continue backing myself into a corner so that I don't progress, so that I don't evolve into the person that I truly am. Being the best version of myself and finding safety in knowing that I'm being the best version of myself that I can be, and just having acceptance and love for myself, like that is such a fruitful, fertile foundation for happiness, growth, and expression, all of the things that I desire. But it's also unknown, because what if this life that version of me lives is harder than what I've experienced? That's one. And two, what if it's actually that fucking good? Because then the scary part of feeling that peace, that joy, that love, and not for a fleeting moment, but consistently, is a contradiction to the way that I've been living, the way that I've been experiencing life. Like wanting to be optimistic in a negative world is how I've been, rather than recognizing that maybe I'm negative in an optimistic world, in a positive world. And obviously there's negativity in the world and terrible things happening. But there's also a possibility of peace. There's also a possibility of love. There's also a possibility of expression and freedom. And obviously we have constructs in this world that we have to live by, but realizing that it's not that I have to find the good in the world. There is good in the world, literally everywhere. I just got to see it. I just have to choose to see it. When I learned that the people in our lives are mirrors to us, I think it created more fear in me on top of the fear that I already had in being inadequate in relationships. But as I'm thinking about that now, the idea that people are mirrors to us, that literally interactions with people are mirrors to our inner selves, it's almost like that is a tip or like a cheat code to this life. Because the more that I'm observing my relationships, observing the people of my past and my present, the more I'm drawing the similarities between me and them. Things that I recognize in them that are also within me, good and bad, good and bad. I've been talking for 18 minutes. I don't even know if any of that made sense. This is where my mind is at today. I woke up, this is where my mind is at today. Really honing in on the reality that life is about perspective. I woke up this morning, was immediately in a bad mood. I don't even know why, but I was immediately in a bad mood. I could feel it. And I just did not want to get up and get out of bed. And as I did get up, wake up and try to fall back asleep and wake up and get up for a minute and then get back in bed. And what I recognized that I was doing was subconsciously like pushing those negative feelings right along in a cycle. I recognized that I was choosing to think about things that would make me feel worse. I was focusing on, I'm not going to have time to do anything. I slept in and I should have been up doing more, and this is what happens every week. And, you know what I mean? Really shaming myself for it. And at one point I even had a moment where I said, today's going to be a bad day. I can already tell. And then I went back in my room and I just sat down and was like, okay, you have a choice. We can either choose to have a good day despite the reality of all these other thoughts and feelings that we're having that are valid. It's okay to feel frustrated with myself. It's okay to acknowledge that I have not as far as I want to be, or it's okay to feel crappy. But it doesn't mean that my entire day has to be ruined. It doesn't mean my entire weekend has to be ruined, especially when nothing really that serious is happening. Nothing that scary is going on. I'm literally safe. Like literally safe. I'm safe. So there's no need to be freaking out right now. There's no need to be panicking. And panicking, whether there is something happening or not, panicking is never a solution. And I know that I do have control over how I react to my thoughts. I do have control over the thoughts that I have. So why don't I use these tools to create a better day for myself? And I started thinking about, okay, what can I do that will help me feel productive? What can I do that will, help me enjoy, find the good in the day? And what can I do to, whatever. And it started with taking a shower. And while I was in the shower, thinking of ideas, thinking about things that I wanted to talk about, being honest with myself about my lack of progress on this video and why that's happening. And it made me feel better. The hot water made me feel better. Brainstorming made me feel better. Coming up with solutions for making things easier for me made me feel better. Getting dressed made me feel, like I said, noticing that these things create a better feeling, and they're not me ignoring my negative feelings. They're not me condemning my negative feelings. They're simply me saying, you know what, I need to set this aside for right now until I'm in a place where I can really sit down and think about that. But right now, it's not productive because I'm not doing it from a level-headed space. I'm doing it from a place of wanting to shame myself and make myself feel bad. So therefore, any conversation about making improvements is not going to be productive. It's just going to be condemning. And that adds to the problem rather than solves it. Okay, we've kind of lost the sun, but basically what I just wanted to tell you is that what I was doing was holding on to my former self, this person that I've been for all of this time, right? The person who was scared, this person who was afraid to move forward, this person who was afraid to blossom, this person who was afraid of being not liked, misliked, disliked, afraid of being judged, and was such a people pleaser that the thought of doing anything that would make anybody not like me was making me like sick to my stomach, right? And like, we can't live like that. We cannot live in a world where, we cannot survive in this world we cannot thrive in this world if we are afraid to live in this world. Yeah, it's scary. And I want you to know that if you're scared, I am too, like, we're in this together. But fear can no longer be an excuse. It's going to keep us where we've been. And I don't know about you, but I'm not staying where I've been. It's time to go.